A statement has been released directly from the office of the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. This is the statement. I hope everyone remembers when they're getting the COVID-19, often referred to as the China virus, vaccine, that if I wasn't president, you wouldn't be getting that beautiful shot for 5 years at best, and probably wouldn't be getting it at all. I hope everyone remembers. I hope everyone remembers. Now, I'm going to deal with an issue that I've wanted to deal with for a long time, but I was waiting for this statement. The vaccine is safe. Anyone putting out information saying it isn't is lying. They are doing so probably for a lot of different motivations. The primary one is money. Groups like the Epoch Times are run by hackers. Ask me how I know. Doctors you've never heard of just claiming they're doctors and claiming this number and that number that you haven't vetted and have no proof for do not stand up to scrutiny. 3 million people in the state of Florida have been vaccinated. Starting all the way back in January, I know quite a few of them, and they are all fine. They are all very, very happy to have had it. Now, those of you talking about all the big numbers clearly flunked 8th grade math. We're going to bring up calculator here real quick, and we're going to show you how bad you are at math. Let's say, just for argument's sake, that 3,000 people in the state of Florida died because of being vaccinated, not having been vaccinated, because directly of and provable. That's not the case. There's no evidence for that. But let's assume that was the case. 3,000 divided by 3 million. 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 0.001 or 0.1%. Even if it were the case that in the state of Florida alone, you could for sure attribute directly 3,000 deaths to the virus, which is not true, which is not provable, and there's no facts to back that up, it would still show the vaccine to be 99.9% safe. Now, to prove it even further, there has been this false claim about fetal cells. Yes, they're used in the research, but they're also used in the research for many other vaccines. Which ones? Adenovirus, chickenpox, Ebola, polio, rabies, rubella, and shingles. Vaccines that have been or are made using cell lines derived from fetal tissue. Now, MRC5 was misidentified by a bunch of people trying to scare old folks. The line that was used to research and develop the COVID-19 vaccination is HEK293. And it says right here, the cells are filtered out of the final product. So if you've ever had a rabies inoculation, if you've ever had an MMR, if the polio vaccine that wiped out polio, all of that was developed using this technique. And I'll give you the links to these immortalized cell lines. So I guess if you're just going to let your kid go get bit by a coyote or a possum or a raccoon and say, well, they made the vaccine using the fetal cell line, so I guess I'm just going to take the risk on you getting rabies. I don't think you'd do that. I really don't think you would do that. I hope you wouldn't do that. And let's just talk about logic for just 1 second here. We have shown Governor DeSantis speaking at length and speaking in detail about a great many things. The man served his country with distinction. The man is honorable. There's not an ounce of guile in this guy. Not an ounce of deceit in this man. He's a family man. Do you think he would honestly be pushing something he thought was a danger to his own kids? He's got 3 young kids. He replaced Common Core with new standards. Would a globalist deep stater do that? Would a globalist deep stater do that? The man is an honorable, decent servant of the people, proven to be the case. I have my differences with the former president, but if you don't, he was on board for this. Now, on one final note as we leave here, this idea of censorship. On the right is the Florida Maquis channel. As you can see here on YouTube, in fact, I'll go ahead and max it out. You can see my videos. YouTube is a giant platform made up of a bunch of little proprietary platforms. This is my proprietary monetized platform on YouTube. I have total control over the content. And the content includes title, thumbnail, meaning the little picture that you see, the content of the video, and the comment section. The comment section is not a public place. It is a private, quote-unquote, digital home. And I am held accountable and responsible for the things I allow said in my comment section. I am liable for that, just like you in your home. You have the right to determine what isn't said, what's not said, what goes on, what doesn't go on, what's on your TV, what's not on your TV. You have that right. It's the same right here. This is my private platform. Those of you who are still against the idea of getting vaccinated, okay, you have the right to have that belief. That's your private belief. You will not catch me going and standing on your front door or your front lawn trying to get you to get vaccinated. You won't see me going to your Facebook page or going to anybody else's private platform and attempting to change their mind, because that would be trespassing. You coming here spouting your anti-vaxxer lies is trespassing, and it will not be tolerated. The only reason you do it is because I have 126,000 subscribers. You, by virtue of having your own Google account, have your own platform. You could speak about it, and you won't hear me say a word. You could upload videos. Let me use an example. This is one of my regular commenters, Trina Holiday. She lives somewhere here in Palm Coast, she's told me. She comments on almost all of my videos. She has her own YouTube/Google channel, and she has her uploads and her created playlists that agree with her values and things that she likes. This is her private proprietary platform that she has 100% total control over. The First Amendment protects you from government. It doesn't give you the right to go to other people's platforms and spout unconfirmable, unvetted lies. If you want to come to my platform and you want to comment respectfully, that's one thing. But if you're going to try to scare old people or try to push people away from getting vaccinated, sorry. That is not going to be tolerated. Absolutely no way. Because the jury is in. I live in Florida. And I'm sure she would probably back me up on this. I haven't consulted with her about it, but I'm sure she would. Over 3 million people have been vaccinated. Over 3 million people just in our state alone have been vaccinated. Trust me when I tell you, it's safe. The people trying to push the idea that it is not are doing it for money. And they're using tactics that I have shown at length, talk of psychological operations tactics. Unvetted, unconfirmable information out of context is what they're using. And former President Donald Trump himself talks about the COVID-19 vaccine in glowing terms. Our governor does. I can give you links to show you disproving all of the anti-vax nonsense. Governor DeSantis is a good, decent man. He's an honorable man. He's a Christian man. He would not, if he had any doubt in his mind at all, he would not allow this. Neither would his wife. They're good people. They're decent people. And those of you out there who are attempting to scare old people, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Every one of you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. If you don't want to, fine. Either put it on your platform, your private platform, or keep it to yourself. I'm not government. The First Amendment doesn't protect you here. And I'll leave it there. Like, share, subscribe.